Greetings, one and all. We had a few technical difficulties there, but I think we're actually operating in some fashion now. As I make my last second adjustments. Good, we're good. Hi, I'm Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and this is our short campaign of Apocalypse World. This is a game by Vincent and Meguey Baker. This is the first game ever to be powered by the Apocalypse. Let us go around and say who we are and who we're playing. Starting once again with Michi. Hello.
And my mouse wouldn't move for some reason. Hi, I'm Michi, also known as Witty Michi. I will be playing Krista, the Battle Babe.
Yay. And now let us head over to Seth. Hello.
Hi, I'm Seth, and I'm going to be playing Hallelujah, who is a savvy head, and we both use he/him pronouns.
Hallelujah. Excellent. And over to Curt. Hello.
Hello, I'm Curt. I'm playing Barbello the Angel, sister to Hallelujah. And we'll see what happens. It's going to get weird.
Oh, I don't doubt it. And finally, Vivacia. Hello.
Hello, I am the technical difficulties. I am playing Nandy, who's the Maestro D of the Traveling Travesty.
Yes, purveyor of its technical difficulties. So, before we dive in, just as a reminder, like we do with most games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know that we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that, again with an X, an N, or an O, to let us know if we're still doing okay. Let us return to the apocalypse. So, our group, a few of whom, including the matriarch, have been poisoned by Flynn the Iron Abbot, and are now reluctantly at his bidding, heading over through the mountain pass towards Sapien Town, where they make the Circle of Acumen to perform their chant that keeps things well between them and the psychic maelstrom that rages around everywhere. Heading over there to apparently take out a beacon that's there, again at the Iron Abbot's behest. But on the way there, they're going through this mountain pass, and they see coming the other direction, the gang known as Dodd Company, who live in this rather very fortified bunker-like ex-military junkyard called the Arsenal. They seem to be prepared for war, and as they're heading through, they were there. Our group was hanging out in the Traveling Travesty, the mobile bordello that they have as part of their convoy, attached to basically the Church of the Flow, which is headed from the really big building, giant cube-like thing on treads that I have decided to unashamedly call the Basilicron. Under His Eminence Patriarch Atlas. And they've noticed these troops, these gang members heading in their war vehicles in the other direction. And they're the child of the patriarch and the matriarch Polaris was hanging out with them because she needed to get away and kind of clear her head a bit. And she looked into the maelstrom, into the beyond, and found that apparently two things. She found two things. One, her father wants to do something with the beacon that she's not sure he should be doing. Two, that war party has plans to destroy the Iron Abbey. Unfortunately, the Iron Abbey is, at present, the only place that they're aware of that they can get an antidote to the poison that they've been administered. This psychic poison that comes off these plants. And that they've each had contact with, and those who can see into the maelstrom almost can hear this bit of a chat. And this bit of a chant that goes on, this sort of repeated thing, this very low susurrus that they can't quite make out because I haven't written any of it down yet. That seems to be ever present.
Something dark side.
Something mask, something 70 some odd other deities. Balancing the universe. And so this is what they have determined. So this convoy is going by outside as you are coming through, and it's, I want to say, probably around dusk at this point. You have like a day of travel left to get to Sapien Town, and I believe some of you are going to go out and check out the opposite convoy, the Dodd Company convoy.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I mean, my initial question was going to go out to look to see if they were, like, all set up for war, but I think that question is answered, so...
Well, that's what, that is what Krista kind of observed.
Yeah.
That it looked like there was, that looks like a war party.
Is it common knowledge within this social group that Krista's has something to do with those people? Am I remembering that right?
That would
Dodd,
be up
or
to
is that
Michi.
something else?
Nandy knows.
Okay.
I think I did ask Krista last time what her daddy's doing here, but I don't remember if the other two were present.
I don't think they were yet.
All right.
I was like, Hal maybe knows, but it might be one of those moments where Krista was saying something and he wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'll leave that up to you.
No, I'm totally happy with it flying overhead. I was just trying to figure out how to react to the situation. I think he's just staring off, like, a little overwhelmed.
How close was the convoy going to come by us?
They are... They are within, like a couple hundred yards.
Okay.
So they're not too far. They're within hailing distance if you intend to do that.
Yeah, I want to send up like a health clinic flare, offering free checkups, STD checks.
That's cool. I can dig that.
Excellent. So, it seems to me, therefore, you're basically trying to get their attention, get them to come over and say hello.
Like I have like a free clinic question mark kind of thing that maybe we can light up with phosphorescent, like, I don't know, the heat of the engines or something like that. I can light it up. That's like my neon sign.
Okay. Let's see.
There's nothing truly free in Wasteland.
This is true. I think this is. I think we're going to seduce or manipulate someone on this.
Okay.
I feel like that's the one to use. So yeah, go ahead and roll your high. Well, wait, don't do that yet. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Beginning of session stuff.
Ah, yes.
I'm not going to let it slip any further. So, couple of things. Now, at the end of the session, we should have done this at the end of last session, but given the structure of this, it's actually probably easier anyway to just take care of it at the beginning of this session and then next session, because next session's the last one. So, let me find it. It has to do with history, basically, and the movement thereof. And if there are any characters that you feel that you, during the previous session, that you think you got to know better or got to know worse. And let me see if I can... And whilst you examine your... Whilst you examine your sheets for that, I'm going to see if I can actually find that in here to make this go more easily.
I know, like my highest history is with Hallelujah, so I could ask him what's my most important stat.
Yeah, that's going to be next.
Okay.
Before we do that, though, you can actually shift those around a little bit.
Okay.
Which is that's what I'm trying to find as end of session end. At the end of every session, here we go. Choose a character who knows you better than they used to. If there's more than one, choose one at your whim. Tell that player to add +1 to their history with you on their sheet. And if it brings them to +4, then they reset to +1 and therefore mark experience. If no one knows you better, choose a character who doesn't know you as well as they thought, or choose any character at your whim. Tell that player to take -1 to their history with you on their sheet. And so that's what we want to do first, so that we have that in place. I'm just going to go around just our standard order and have folks do that. So I'm going to go to Michi first. Is to based on what happened last time. We can probably also do this at the end this time if it'll be easier to remember. But who do you think knows you better, or if there is no one, who knows you worse? After what happened last time.
Like, just based on those events, right?
Yes.
I'd say Hal, because he had a conversation with the head, and it was like insinuating stuff about Krista that she doesn't even know.
Ah, okay. Cool. And that works. So Hal gets to add +1 to your history with Krista.
Cool. Okay.
And now we're going over to Hal. And who do you think, after last session, knows you better, or who knows you worse?
I actually think Barbello knows me worse. I think that there was kind of a beginning of a divide there that is not standard with their relationship thus far.
So no one knows you better. Therefore, Barbello would take a -1.
-1? So
Yeah.
0.
Okay. And now over to Barbello. Who do you think knows you better, and if there's no one, who knows you worse?
Yeah, I was thinking that the fact that we both have the same plant infection, the same poisoning, that we would know each other better.
Okay. So then, if you want to go with that, then Hal would put a
curious,
+1.
like, so maybe when I connected my mind to his, did I feel like he was more isolated from me? Like,
that would be my inclination, and also I don't think technically he knows that you got poisoned yet.
Oh, okay. I see. So that makes sense. I'm like, oh yeah, we're sharing this thing just like siblings do, and you're like, I'm all alone with my disease.
Receding, yeah.
That's entirely possible. So, well, then you'll still need to pick someone who knows you better, or if no one knows you better, then you need to pick someone who knows you worse.
Yeah, then I guess we'll go with Krista, and probably knows me worse, from just the fact that like I was just kind of tagging along behind her, and she probably just wonders like what my motivations are.
Okay, so Krista knows you worse?
Yeah.
Okay, so Krista would go down 1. on your stat. Basically, and if you hit -4 or if you hit +4, then you lock back around to that same side at 1, and you get an XP. And finally, Vivacia. So who do you think knows Nandy better? And if no one, who knows Nandy worse?
Well, she didn't really get a lot of face-to-face time with the siblings. So I would have to say Krista, because we're the one, who had the conversation and about all of that. And I'm thinking she knows me a little better.
Okay.
Just from that interaction, a little bit more about how I would react to a situation like this, where my favorite Hal, might get threatened.
Okay, so Krista, you get to put +1 for your history with Nandy. Okay, now that we've got that in place, now we shall do the thing of we can change up highlighted stats. So we'll go around the circle again, as that we use for highlighting. So the high history player for you highlights one of your stats, and I highlight the other. So we start once again. With Michi. Back around to Krista. Who's your highest now?
My highest now is still Barbello.
Okay. So what do you want Krista to highlight?
Well, if the convoy's getting close, I definitely want to see you kick some ass. So let's go hard.
Okay. So hard.
It's like my worst stat.
And let me see. I think looking things over at the various moves. I feel as though after last session, there will be a number of things happening. Let me actually check which thing you use when you do the thing that I feel as though everyone's about to begin doing. Yeah, all right. Let's see what happens when we highlight your cool stat. So hard and cool. I think that was already what you had highlighted. So. So it's the same. So over to Seth. Who's your highest on history now?
It's a tie between Babs and Krista.
Okay, so you just pick one.
Okay, I will pick Krista.
Okay, Krista, what do you want? What do you want Hal to highlight?
Let's see. Sorry, I'm like trying to think what would be good. I feel like with what's happening, the sharp.
Sharp. Okay.
Sharp. Okay. I think I'd like you to keep weird highlighted for now.
All right.
Since
Cool.
things have been going in that direction.
Perfect.
All right. Over to Barbello. Who is your highest on history now?
So now it's Hallelujah still at
Okay.
a mighty 0. So
yeah. So
I'm really hoping that he's going to keep his cool.
Well, it's actually up to Hal then. If yours is with Hal to assign for you
All right.
what you're highlighting.
I think I'm gonna go. Ooh, it's a toss-up. Let's do. Yeah, I would hope that she would keep her cool.
All right.
the events.
And I shall, given things what are happening. Let's see. What do the angel moves use when you're healing people?
Sharp is my best one.
Is that the one that you use when with your healing moves?
Because I have Sixth Sense, so typically it's weird, but I use Sharp a lot.
Okay, because you have the thing that lets you do that. Alright. Character moves, angel moves. Yeah, okay, we'll keep it at sharp.
Okay.
Alright, and over to Vivacia. Who do you have your highest history with?
That's Krista.
Okay. Krista, Michi, what stat do you want Vivacia to highlight?
I feel like since Nandy is like usually the one that talks sense into people, I want to say hot.
Okie doke.
Voice of reason.
Yes. Okay. And just out of sheer me being strange today, I think I'm going to switch you over to hard. So that we're going to be using hot and then also hard highlighted this time.
Okay.
Just to see what happens. Okay. Remember, whenever you roll any of those highlighted stats, you get XP. Okay. So now that we've done that, you are we have taken care of all that, and now you have this convoy that is going past your convoy. And you turned on, Barbella, you turned on the open sign. Send up that flare. So I need you to manipulate someone for me to see if you can come over to say hi. So you're actually going to roll plus hot.
Okay. Did it roll?
It has not.
Clicking on that dice, and nothing's happening.
Okay, let me take a look here real quick.
Oh, there we go. We got it.
Yeah, remember there's like a pop-up that comes up. So, yeah, nothing's really modifiers right now. Okay. So, that means, in this context, they'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first, which they'll come to in just a moment. All right. So, some of them veer off a little bit, and they start. You see a few of their, a few of their jeeps are turning off, split off from the main convoy, and are heading in your direction. While the rest of the convoy is continuing to move forward.
So I have like a mock-up syringe that I kind of hold, a giant syringe that I hold up, like kind of like an advertisement, back and forth. Yeah, just wave them on in.
Interesting.
I kind of would hope that maybe I can get a few of the girls from the bordello to like maybe do a little bit of a stage play about the dangers of.
Please always wear protection. Now,
yes.
Is Krista still with me, or did she already run off to check on her daddy?
I have not left yet.
Because I would think, that would be good step for Krista to see if she can get her daddy to pull over so we can see what is happening.
She's just putting armor on the dogs right now, just in case.
This
Yeah.
is good. This is good.
It's just like a probably grab, behind the desk, getting out that automatic rifle, just in case.
Yeah,
We don't know what's
just in
happening.
case.
Don't
Just
know.
in case, just as a little, just in case. So you see them coming, and they're sort of your convoy is not moving very quickly, so it isn't going to take them long to get over. They're going to be pulled off at sort of a respectable distance, as they're. So you kind of get in hailing distance. Well, I mean, you're still in hailing distance. You kind of get to the point that you can kind of hear each other. But I also want to know, is Hal doing anything right now?
I think he's just doing kind of his checklist when he thinks things might be going down, or he's nervous about stuff, where he's kind of just like running through. Actually, I guess he's not on Mother Superior.
You were at the end with everyone else, but there's been time to move around and do other things if you so decide.
Yeah, I think as soon as he saw everybody on the horizon, he'd start getting nervous and go set stuff up, and I kind of want to use that for the flavor for Bone Feel, which I forgot to do at the beginning of.
Beginning of session moves. That's
Yes.
right. Does anyone else have beginning of session moves, by the way?
Mine says to barter, but I don't know what that means.
I'm actually not going to worry about that too much, given the tight timeline that we have. So if your move is a barter move, then don't worry about it so much, because we only have this session and the next session, and that'll be it. How has? And of course, I'm going to just say this: how is our Bone Feel?
With a 10, that's pretty tight. I'm gonna hold 1+1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're holding one for one of the hang on. For you to show up at any point with the proper tools. Also, if you happen to already be in the scene and you just want to have the proper tool, you can use it for that.
Okay.
And then you have +1 forward, which is going to just be +1 to your next roll.
Okay. Cool. For whatever is the next roll that I roll.
Yes.
Coming up.
Yes,
Okay.
that was.
Right.
I read about that
Cool.
over the last couple days.
Awesome. I'm excited. This is a good start.
So that's a thing you now have. So you've got kind of that idea.
Yeah, and I think other
in
than
your
that,
mind.
like just adding more tools to his rig and getting set up and just kind of waiting for other people to make a move. I don't think he's gonna spearhead anything.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. So, I think right now, Barbella, you're standing out on the. Which vehicle are you standing on right now?
I was probably Mother Superior. I was thinking. I mean, I don't know
Mother
if we
Superior,
bring
okay.
Mother Superior up into the big Basilicon or not. When
So
the convoy.
yeah, so what I'm going to say is that Polaris has returned to the Basilicron, and seeing this convoy coming past, they did do the thing where they're going to we're going to move some of us up in there. So you're mostly, I want to say, pretty much it's grinding to a halt for a little bit. I mean, it was getting time to stop for the night anyway, but it's like just got to deal with this first. When you're inside, anyone who's inside the Basilicron is very well protected. I'll just put it that way. But
That was actually a question that I had, just out of curiosity. Like, in terms of this this kind of raiding party that we're passing by versus our caravan, like
Yes.
if shit were to go down, like would we be defensible? Would we be totally like
So-
doomed or?
they have a lot of guns, but if everyone were able to get into the Basilicron, then then it would take them a while to get at you.
Okay.
And so it would just be a question of whether they would decide whether it's worth the ammo or not.
Okay, we could hold out for a siege.
The Basilicron also does have, it has a few guns. It's got a machine gun, grenade launcher, and it does have light mortar that it can use. But I mean, these folks have all of that too. Basically, they have a lot of different lovely things. There's a tank, but
Okay.
and a bunch of things that are sort of resculpted Humvees and a bunch. It's a lot of machine guns and such.
Okay.
Yeah,
it would be tough. Okay.
So it'd be a thing where it'd be like, as long as it'd be one of those things where you'd heard long ago that something similar was going to happen, and then they were like, okay, no, we're never going to get into this thing in time. So they're not attempting to crack the egg right now. Lately, the relations haven't been directly oppositional, so there's not been a lot happening, but of course, Hal, you know that Dodd Company has been spying on the Church of the Flow, so that's a question. So these guys have come out, and sort of see these. They're in these sort of these fatigues. They're wearing sort of dirty combat fatigues, and they come up. One of them sort of on with like a pair of goggles, and sort of coming up on his machine gun, leaning up. They say, "What are you offering?"
I kind of look around. Medicine. We'll cure what ails you. We'll take care of those itches you can't scratch anymore.
And they're looking around, and you see there's some of the dancers are out. And I don't think Gemma has gone out because it is not, the secret weapon is not yet needed to be employed, but we'll see. Yes, what is Krista doing?
Krista's just gonna walk out and like peek out to see who it is.
Okay. None of these are your dad. This
Good.
is
But would they recognize her?
good. There are. Well, how long have you been away from the compound?
I'd say maybe like 1.5 to 2 years. Like long enough that she's like gotten to know everyone, but not long enough for her curiosity of everyone is satisfied.
Okay. Then I'm going to say, because it's a thing where he's kind of constantly recruiting. This is the need for manpower. A lot of people do flock to his banner because he has all the guns. So let me see. Yeah. Just bringing up a generator here. Oh, good lord. No, that's not what I needed. That's not what I needed at all. There's no time to answer a quiz, damn you! Okay. Yeah, there's a, you recognize one of them. This is, Sergeant Hollow. He's a, deceptively lean-looking fellow. He's wearing, a cap. And fatigues, but he's also a deadly shot. He has a thing like a cigar, but it's really more like a vaping thing. Steampunk vaping cigar. And are you making yourself obviously visible, or are you just looking?
Yes. Because that's her way of protecting Babs as well.
Okay. So yeah. There is a thing I need to do. And he's just sort of so Sergeant Hull is sort of looking up. Says, "Ah, Crystal, is that you?
Hi.
All right, come on over a little bit. We can see you better."
Oh, 1 second. And she like puts Giant in this little backpack where only his head's sticking out, like puts him on.
Is
Just
Giant is the French bulldog?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
And then she like goes off like closer so that way they can see her.
Okay.
Dog armor.
There is a move that I need you to do. That I need to just need to pull it up here and see if it's right here or if I have to dig for it. I have to dig for it real quick. Hang on. Okay. So I need you to roll plus sharp here, please. This is a move called Turn the Tables. And we're determining if you are the cat or the mouse. Okay. Good. Yep. You're the mouse. Okay.
Mouse.
All right. So as you come out, is there anyone? Let's see. Barbello's out here, right? As well. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm probably peeking out and opening,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
I'm
with
gonna
that
be peeking
automatic in my arm.
Yeah.
Like trying to see what's going
She's
on.
got
Like,
her syringe. It's like a spinner sign. But then tucked in back are 2 guns, for sure. Always.
Very good.
And there's just little glints from Mother Superior here and there where the periscope mirrors are turning as Hallelujah is watching from inside, like.
It's fair. That's very fair. Okay. This is always one of those interesting moments where one must make a decision. So I think any of the 3 of you, Hal or Barb or Nandi, would be in a position to read the situation. Who do we think is going to attempt to do it first? I'm inclined to say Barbella just because you've been out there longest.
I was just gonna say I opt out.
Yeah, so go ahead and Barbella, please read the sitch. Please roll plus sharp. As I feel as though this is a charged situation.
9.
Now, you can ask one of these questions, and when you act on it, you will take a +1. on the answer to it. And, do you want me to put the questions out?
Just looking for research here. Research. Okay, so where's my best escape route? What's the biggest threat? Look up forward to his true position. Who's in control here? Yeah, so she's like, I'm definitely just kind of being the salesperson, because this is where we get the bulk of the revenue for the Pro's Choice Clinic. So I'm just being the show person, but at the same time, I'm who's the biggest threat right now? I feel like it's getting ugly.
Those would be the well, I'll tell you. You can see sort of the way that they're positioned, and something kind of sparks for you as you realize you need to turn around.
Uh-oh.
And you turn and you look. You glance back. And among the couple of there are only a few vehicles out here now. Most of the vehicles have retreated into the Basilicron. But you kind of note that it seems crawling along past the one of the spotter vehicles. There are a couple of people crawling along in black, head to toe. You barely just spot them out of the corner of your eye.
Behind me.
Yes.
Okay.
And they
Making
appear
a
to
beeline
be...
from Mother Superior, or...
They seem to be making a beeline for Krista.
No kidnapping, my bestie.
And does Krista seem aware of this yet? She doesn't seem aware.
Not yet.
Krista, do you think it's 6 o'clock? I think it might be 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, definitely. 6 o'clock.
I want my friend to tell me what time it is! He says, making a very obscure reference.
Yes.
Will Giant notice them?
You do have eyes in the back of your head. It's sweet.
The moment...
We should have let the dog roll to check this.
I know, right? Unfortunately, the dog is also a threat. Everything's a threat here.
So maybe that's my read. Is I heard Giant growl, and then I looked over. That's when I yelled.
No, yeah, you basically there is this moment where it's like you're saying that it's like.
The true sound.
You hear
of
that,
madness.
and
The psychic maelstrom is French.
I watched those videos. Those were horrifying. Anyway,
They're amazing.
they are. Yeah. But yeah, you hear that sort of coming from your bag where you put Giant. Like,
So she'll turn around.
okay, so. Oh, that's Black Ops. So, well, or in as much as they call themselves that, So now is more or less the time as you see you kind of can figure, and it's like you never see them completely because they know how to hide. But you think they're coming in among the vehicles towards you. Probably you get at least the sense that they are.
Crystal's gonna stay in like where if there's like a doorway, she's gonna stay there.
Which vehicle?
I think she's still by Nandy.
Okay. All right. So.
What about Nandy? Since I moved over to, I'm guessing, one of the openings, one of the windows with the automatic rifle, Will I see it?
So my question is, did you at all think to start heading out where they can see you better, as the sergeant had requested, before becoming aware of these things?
I think she starts stepping out from the doorway so that she can, like be seen a little bit better, and then after, hearing what time it was, and
So we need you to make a roll now. This is a move called Escape a Hunter.
okay.
And because when you're the mouse, you have to roll plus cool, and the result will determine how well you do. Okay. So on a 10 plus, you escape clean and leave your hunter hunting. So yes, you immediately you know exactly where they are, and they are they note that they've been spotted, and they start to kind of move off a little bit.
Giant's not subtle, so
Yeah, no, giant is not subtle. And basically he just keeps, the bag is now moving around very dramatically, going and so
it's like Krista turns around to like go back inside, like, God dang it, Barbell, Giant doesn't like hearing what time it is. Just goes inside.
And at this point, there's basically a little sort of there's this brief shining of light from the lamp of someone moving around in the darkness. That Sergeant Hollow spots. He's like, hell. We're gonna have to do this the hard way. And he immediately holds up some kind of device or other, which clicks, and you hear this siren coming from it. This and this light goes up off of it. Sort of little mini flare comes up, and
I didn't do it.
then you see a number of the rest of the convoy are starting to turn and come in your direction. Not like all the rest of the convoy, but a decent amount of them.
All right, I'm guessing we have a protocol in place to alert the cult if we're being attacked. Or
Yeah, I mean, it's you probably have like short wave radios, if nothing else.
I think there's also some kind of giant chainsaw tooth device in the Mother Superior that has a bunch of like mallets and hammers, and you just like rips that cord and it starts going.
Yeah.
just absolute cacophony to warn everyone.
Okay. So yes, totally.
Mandy would have called out to her girls to get their butts inside.
Yeah, they're like immediately they turn and they run in back into the bordello. So
what were you trying to sell them, B? No syringes. Men are babies.
Actually, so Barbella, do you have you have your own vehicle, or do you not?
The clinic is attached to the Mother Superior.
Okay, so yeah, so this is the robot clinic. It drives itself basically, if I'm remembering right, because we had a robot clinic. I was just trying to remember if this is the ambulance.
This was kind of the ambulance that's built into the Mother Superior, in the belly of the Mother Superior.
Of the Mother Superior. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's attached to Hal's vehicle. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So this is not so. So I think So the robot ambulance is still out there then. Vehicles are approaching.
I guess I can kind of like almost like a Russian nesting doll thing. So like the Pro's Choice Clinic would fit inside the Mother Superior. The Mother Superior would fit inside the Basilicron. So right now the kind of this robotic clinic, this independent clinic, is actually inside the Mother Superior. That's what I was saying.
I see. Okay.
On top of the roof.
So then, I presume, Hal, are you ordering the Mother Superior to the driver to take her into the Basilicron, or no?
Yeah, I think if that's the modus operandi during like emergencies, that's probably what I would end up doing, and then get with whoever I need to get with to make sure I am there in case emergency engineering needs to happen.
Okay. So, and Nendi and Krista, who are in the bordello, in the travesty, what do you do? What are you having the drivers? Are you having the drivers do anything for the travesty? Are you going? What's happening with the travesty? Are you moving it, or are you leaving it there? What's happening?
I'm thinking we're definitely trying to stay pretty close to the cult, because trying to kind of pull on their protection a little bit, because if they attack us, it feels like they attack the cult vehicle next, so we might get some backup. And I'm guessing we have a way of while still being able to shoot outside. So it's basically yelling out to Torque, we might be under attack, protocol Alpha Red 3, whatever.
Okay, so it sounds to me like you're laying down cover fire, while the Mother Superior is getting into the Basilicron.
Well, we're definitely making sure that nobody gets to them. I mean, I wouldn't start shooting until somebody else starts shooting at us, but definitely cover them.
Okay, no one has started shooting yet.
Is there a bullhorn?
I don't see why not, but yeah, it's up to you.
Krista takes the bullhorn and goes to a window and like turns it on. Like, why are you being a bully?
As the vehicles are turning around, they're heading up toward the Basilicron.
Like, she doesn't know that they're going after her or anything.
Well, no. I'm saying as you're as the travesty is turning and moving toward the Basilicron. Are you like peeping your head out and doing this, or are you?
Yeah, like she's trusting that they're not gonna hurt her.
Yeah,
but she wants to.
You see them. They're getting pretty close. You see basically. You see Hollow, who is still he's up. He's seated up above his driver of the Jeep, but he's got his he's got kind of it's sort of like a CB thing that has the police voice thing going on, and he says, "Sorry, girl, it's your dad's orders. We got to bring you back."
Am I grounded?
You will have to take that up with him.
Why is he not talking to me himself?
He's kind of busy leading a war party, as if you might have noticed.
Well, then tell him I'm not coming out of my room until he gets his butt over here.
Okay, let me see.
12-year-old now.
I mean,
She's not a classy lady. She says what she thinks.
It sounds like you're trying to convince him. So, this is basically gonna, I think this will fall on seduce or manipulate. Obviously, you're not trying to seduce him, but you're trying to manipulate him. So this is gonna be using that stat. Using hot. Okay. So that's a success. Tell them what you want them to do and give them a reason. What do he is going to ask, oh, hell. Look, I got to tell him something more than that. Is there something going on? Any reason you can't come with us?
Someone's been poisoned, not saying it's me or if it is me. But he needs to come here because I'm refusing to eat until he gets here.
And he's like, looking down, he's right. And you see him turn, he starts calling out commands to some of the other vehicles. And you see them turn and they accelerate back in the direction of the military convoy. And he says, "All right, we'll hold off, but y'all stay in sight."
I said I wasn't leaving my room, and I'm not going to eat until Daddy gets here.
So, Nandi, I think the question is the Bordello stopping, or is the Bordello still moving toward the toward the Basilicron?
I'm thinking we're gonna keep our slow pace and keep pace, but we're not gonna try and get inside yet because we're gonna know why the heck her daddy wants to kidnap her and what he needs her for. Okay. And also, this might give us a chance to stop his war party on the way to the Abbey. We need to wait until we kill the Iron Douche, okay? We need, to save my Hal first.
So, if you're moving slowly, what I think you're going to see is starting to happen as you're watching this is that while a couple of vehicles are turning around to deal with it, you do see the 3 or so that are still out here are now pulling to move in front of you to block your way back to the Basilicron.
Krista, is there somebody on these places that you actually care about? Because if he doesn't get out of the travesties ways, we're gonna smush him.
Oh.
If there's somebody on there that you don't want squished, please tell him to move out of my way. We're gonna keep following. We're not gonna run, but we ain't stopping.
I don't know who's inside, but let me try. She just goes to the other window, moves, gets the bullhorn. Excuse me, we don't have a car horn, so there's no beep beep, but please move.
How about you hit the brakes? And you see at this point that a couple of their guns sort of lifting up.
Krista looks at Nandi. I think we should stop.
Well, how much bigger is the travesty than their vehicles?
Travesty is than their vehicles. The travesty is a bit bigger. However, the weaponry they're using. Let me quickly move over to this portion. Just to have this in front of me. Military specialty weaponry. Let's see. Large-scale weaponry. Here we go. So, you are pretty sure one of them has an RPG.
Krista looks at Nandi. I think we should stop.
I don't like bullies.
That's
Well, now Nandi will turn around and yell, "Torque, have you reached the culties yet? What about that backup?"
And Torque is just like, unless we... I mean, we're gonna either go over them or around them at this rate. We still can't. We still got a ways to go to get to the Basilicron. But Mother Superior's getting in okay. I will say, Mother Superior, you've made it to the Basilicron. It looks like they're not pursuing you. Up to you if you would like to. I will hop over. Is there anything you would like to do right now?
What happened with the Wasteland Ninjas? Did we leave them behind?
The ninjas ran over and hopped into one of the vehicles that is currently attempting to encircle the travesty.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to be dramatically riding on top and surveying the scene, clinging to my syringe, just waiting to see if they're going to get out of there or not.
Yeah, is there emplacements mounted anything on the Basilicon that goes boom?
On the Basilicron, yes. The Basilicron does have a light mortar.
Okay.
Which is not usually... They don't usually aim it at stuff this close.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But it could be doable. They also do have... They have a grenade launcher, and they do have a 50 cal machine gun up top.
All right. Are they manned, or are they just like available?
They are... I mean, they'll usually... in a time like this, if they've spotted the war convoy, someone's going to be up there. But it's... whether or not they're going to do anything is another question entirely.
Yeah. I think Hal kind of like just runs up there beside them and like doesn't even say anything. Just kind of.
Okay,
like,
so you're going to
down.
scale the... you're going to scale the Basilicron up to the...
Yes.
up to the gun tower.
Yeah, I want to go high.
Okay, so that's going to take you a moment. So you're going to hop over to... There's an outside ladder if you want to use that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
There's also a way inside. It's like a big freaking cube, basically.
Cool.
Big freaking cube on a platform on these giant treads. So you're making your way up there. So I assume you're planning to. So yeah, but you takes you a minute or two to get up there. What do you? And there is there's someone at the gun.
Okay. Yeah, I don't talk
watching.
to them or anything. I just walk up and like kind of crouch down beside them through like the handrails, and I'm just kind of like watching like a hawk, like just in case they get shot or they don't shoot when I think they should shoot. Like I just want to be able to do something.
They're watching. You get the sense that with something like this, because it's there's a question of not wanting to start a war. You don't know if they're going to do anything to try to save the travesty or not.
Okay.
Because on the one hand, it is part of the convoy, but on the other hand...
Okay. All right. So yeah, I didn't actually make the connection that our relationship with each other would be that kind of.
They're not in the cult.
Yeah.
They're not in the cult. So
I thought an attack on travesty was like an attack on the whole thing. So maybe I'm actually.
Yeah, it's sort of it's in circles, right? So it's like.
Also,
I mean,
I'm
the
guessing
matriarch
while
really
he's-
likes Nandi, so they might do something.
So I'm guessing
hard
while
to
he's
say.
scaling that wall, it's like Nandy is one pissed off madam, so she grabs that bullhorn from Krista, and she kind of leans out a little, and she turns and asks Bullhorn and said, "If you put one scratch on the travesty or any of my girls, I'm gonna put some scratches on Krista, and Daddy ain't gonna like it. She might, but Daddy ain't gonna like it."
Well, we can avoid that by your stopping, and then we'll all wait for Daddy to come.
All right, can I try and manipulate them? like threatening, like, if you put a scratch on this, there you'll never get any booty again in this wasteland.
Seduce, manipulate, bluff, flat talk, or lie. Okay. Fast talk. Yeah, you can take a stab at that.
Yeah.
So, what do you want them to do? That's, I think, the important question here.
It's like I want to keep moving at a slow pace to keep up with the cult, but they can.
The cult
keep
has
with
stopped,
us.
by the way,
Oh,
at
they
this point.
stopped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then never mind, we're stopping. It was just
Okay.
like I want them, the cult driving away, and our backup is leaving.
Okay, I got you. No, I got you. they're thinking about it. No, they
Basically, like, keep your distance until Daddy gets here.
they haven't the cult stopped moving when people started coming up onto it. They're doing the thing where they're giving people time to get on. Now there's a possibility they will start moving again shortly. But once they've determined everyone's on there that's coming on. And now that with them there, you're probably not going to be able to get over there in time for them to, before they'd have to like raise the bay to close it off. So it's pretty much right now just you versus these folks.
Do you think that between our vehicles there's also like a walkie, so we can contact like Babs and
Yeah,
Hal?
no, you have radios.
Yeah. Okay. So Krista turns to Nandy and's like, we should probably let them know that we're not going to be able to go inside.
All right, go ahead, girl. Contact B and let her know what's going on while we're waiting for you goddamn daddy to get here.
I'm not in charge of what he does. She goes and gets the radio.
What the fuck did you do that? You got ground your ass.
Barbie.
Are we going?
She's on the radio. She's on the radio trying to contact Babs. Barbie.
Are we going to deal with these people, or are we going to deal with these people?
Deal or no deal?
Yeah.
Chris is just like, well, we're waiting for the rest of the party to come back. So I think we're kind of stuck outside and we can't be with you guys.
I want to say at this point, Mother Superior is probably heading up the ramp into the into the cult.
Can I see Hal from where I'm at? Like up at his.
I was just gonna say I think I'm coming back down since I kind of got a read for everything, and
Yeah, you can see him. He's climbing down the side of the Basilicron.
I'm like,
it's like on halfway up on this like 50-foot ladder. He like looks down and like sees your figure and it's like kind of hands up like, what is going on?
I think we should redeploy and go back down and stand by the traveling travesty.
He just slides down and kind of runs up and like, I think we need to talk to the patriarch because this is his fucking problem too.
Go talk to Michael?
Yeah,
Well,
Michael's one that
remember you decided to use Michael as Michaela, and so the name of
Michaela.
so I ended up naming the patriarch Atlas.
Atlas. Okay.
Oh, okay. And then who's Michaela then?
Michaela is the matriarch.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, and she is the one that got poisoned with me, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, and you're like, she needs to know that this is Ward's a huge problem.
But if we leave them out there to their own, I think they might come to a bad end. Those DOD people were trying to sneak up and grab her.
I'll you take the Mother Superior. You go. I'll go talk to the matriarch.
When you tell me that, my eyes just light up, and I stomp on the roof. I'm like, spoons, reverse.
And I'm just gonna go run around to wherever I need to go to try to go find the higher ups to talk to.
Okay, so just so I have this straight in my head,
Oh, yeah.
Hal is heading into the Basilicron to try to talk to the patriarch and/or matriarch.
Yeah.
What's Barbella doing?
She's kind of like, I imagine there's like a little bit of like a rooftop like helm station up top where she can see what's going on, and maybe there's a loud hailer or a radio station there as well. I don't know what weaponry we might have, maybe just a few hard mounted
Mother Superior. Yeah, you sent me Mother Superior.
Yeah, I don't know that
Seth
it has
sent me Mother
anything
Superior's
mounted.
things. I think you get like one or two weapons,
Do you?
probably. Let's see. But there's
The
a
only one I saw with weapons was for I thought it was for the driver playbook specifically.
Well, I guess the main thing is I just want to be up on top, not below deck, and then
Oh.
talking to Spoons, the driver.
Yes.
Just like tell him like we're gonna go we're gonna go watch the back of the traveling travesty. Keep an eye on it.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So let me go ahead and just pull this.
Gemma's in danger, Spoons. Gemma is in danger.
Okay. All right.
I love when I get to drive.
So. Yeah. Yeah, I see. I'm sorry. I was just looking at the vehicle stuff. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's not a battle vehicle, and probably that. Okay, I'm back. Hi, how's it going? You have battle options, but that's it's a different thing. So. You all, and Krista and Nandi are just sort of waiting in the travesty.
I'm probably also still kind of grouching at Torque for not getting in touch with the people on the thing, and probably shushing up girls who are worried and running up.
Yeah.
And every now and again yelling something not so nice out of the window, because he's just pissed off at these guys.
Torque has been sending a message. Has been sending has been sending a message to the Basilicron, but has not gotten a response back yet. So you will see coming up the front of the convoy. You see it sort of in the distance. See the convoy slows down. The military convoy slows down. Dodd Company slows down. And then you see 3 vehicles coming from the front of the line. Hurtling toward you. It's over quite a ways. As you look up, you see these 2 sort of Humvee-like things, and then this big monstrous thing that looks like it's kind of half tank and half, half truck, with a pair of giant guns on it, and standing astride and just in front of this flag that's waving behind it is a man in this is a middle-aged man in a helmet and wearing sunglasses, reflective sunglasses, chomping on a cigar. And as they pull up, you see their headlights flashing in the sort of the post-dusk. You hear, as he's handed a bullhorn, you hear, "Crystal, you come right out this instant." And I think that's where we're going to go to break. We will be back in just a few minutes. See you shortly. We have returned. As the sun is setting over, we're coming into night. We've hit past dusk, so it's fairly dark at this point. Stars will be coming out shortly. And basically, the traveling travesty sits across from this vehicle that is roughly the same size, but is entirely on tires, so it's maneuverable, fairly maneuverable. At the top of which stands Gunner, who I guess this would be who's their general, as they see it. Basically wearing the Patton helmet and glasses. And he has just demanded that Crystal come out. What are you all doing?
I'm kind of just, Nandy is looking at Crystal.
Krista's like, she took off her jacket, she pulls down her shawl, opens the window just a little bit.
Lazy daddy, now.
Okay, hold on. like, it's nothing new to Mandy to see Krista, like, kind of unclothing herself a little bit. So she has, like, bare minimum. She, like, peeks up in the window, puts out the bullhorn. What?
Now don't play games with me, Crystal. They said you're sick.
Yes, someone is poisoned.
Are you poisoned?
I will neither confirm or deny. I don't want you to get angry.
You gonna come out so we can talk?
Are you gonna take me away if I come out?
I think that'd make it easier for everybody.
Why?
Well, that way, you don't have to worry about the vipers you're having to deal with, and I don't have to worry about stepping on them.
Krista looks at Nandy. There are snakes here?
Girl, I love you, but sometimes. No, baby. There is no snakes here.
Nandy says there's no snakes, Daddy. And Nandy and Gunner know each other, so...
they do, don't they? I'm trying to remember the...
It's like, I think they
Oh
have,
yeah,
like,
that's right, he did heavy research into Nandy. He was like...
We came to, like, an uneasy agreement that we both care for her and that we're not screwing with each other. At least that's what we said back then. Alright. No more of that. I'll let this laughing will ruin my makeup. What little I'm wearing.
Yeah. Alright, how about this? I will come down, and you and Nandy come out, and we have a little talk.
Krista looks at Nandy to see what she says.
I don't think you have all the information. And I'm not about to share it over a bullhorn.
Well, normally your daddy's a straight shooter.
Well, as long as I'm with you, they won't hurt you.
Just ask him to give us his word for safe passage back into the travesty, and we'll go talk.
Okay. She turns. As long as we can go back inside after we talk, that's okay. Because I'm leaving most of my puppies here, and you know how I feel about leaving puppies behind.
I am going to request a manipulation roll here. We're once again rolling plus hot. All right.
Daddy's girl gets what she wants.
Yes, if you still want to after we talk, yes.
Krista looks at Mandy.
All right, let's do this craziness with your crazy ass daddy.
Okay.
Craziest man everywhere.
So he starts coming down. You folks are starting to head out. I'm going to flip back over. First off, panning through the Mother Superior. I just want to know if Barbello is doing anything.
Yes. So I'm up on kind of a deck controls where you can be up on the surface and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I am desperately trying to override the manual control that my brother has installed. I can take control.
Oh no! Okay. So you are going to. I think you're gonna. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is have you. Reading a sitch I think would work out here. See if you just can figure out what you need to do to. Basically,
how about it's cool because I'm so excited.
Like, do something under fire.
Just discussing. Never been under this situation before. Not that I want to see this go south, but I kind of want to see it go south. So it's just.
I mean, we could do. I can see an argument for doing it under fire, just because this is something you're trying to do pretty quickly.
Okay.
Because I mean, the reading a sitch would give you certain things like, okay, what would my brother have done here? But yeah, if you're trying to just if you're operating more on animal instinct here, then yeah, I'd say do it under fire.
Trying to stomp the button.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you're button mashing, then definitely do something under fire.
Whoa.
Ah, excellent. You happen to hit the right button.
I just don't even look.
And the controls are released to you.
Come on, Mama Subs!
What? You have control. Heavens help us of the Mother Superior. What would you like to do with her?
Whoa! Just zoom up there to come to the rescue.
Okay, well this can only end well.
Yeah.
If you run me over.
I'm so not smaller than you. Well, you guys are outside. Oh, that might be good.
Turning around and starting to head toward these very large vehicles that. So that means that I'm going to zoom over to. I'm going to zoom over to Hal. Where basically you went to up into, you're sort of in the reception area. That's as far as they allow non-cult members to go. When in times of crisis or whenever. And what did you tell the acolytes that were there?
That there's a diplomatic crisis brewing outside.
Okay. So I think the question becomes, who comes out? Let me check the impulses here that I have written down. Okay. Yeah. So after a moment, you see Patriarch Atlas comes out. He's not wearing his broad-brimmed hat that he often wears right now. He is wearing a just a black jacket and trousers right now.
Okay.
And he has the sort of the space for the collar. He has sort of straw-colored hair, and so he steps down and approaches you as you see him come out of this chamber, basically.
Yeah. I kind of curtsy him as a patriarch.
Do you have anything pre-established relationship with the patriarch at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Okay.
No, I'll defer to you, honestly.
Okay. It's Hallelujah, isn't it?
It is. We got something of a crisis
Yes,
outside that
they said.
Hmm.
What's Michaela's fuming a bit, and I'm having her watch Polaris right now. What would you say? What's your assessment of the situation?
What's the? I would say that the Dotties are out there throwing their weight around, especially against us and ours, and not least of all, on top of that, they're headed towards Abbott, as far as I can tell. There's a chance, and if that's the case, then they might, sweep away any chance we have of the antidote.
Right. It's a bit unfortunate, because on any other day, this would be kind of welcome, yeah? You were the one that also found Question, see if you remember this. Did you tell anyone where you suspected the spy actually was from?
I don't remember. I do not have a very good memory.
Okay.
I don't think I wrote that down.
Michaela says that you were the one that identified that the spy that was in our midst was not from the Abbey.
Correct.
Correct.
I opened my mind, and it came in.
Okay. This is, of course, a very delicate situation. But if we can get him to hold off for just a little bit, then I think we'll both get what we want.
So keeping the travesty calm, you mean, and then we're just talking.
If we can get him to hold off on his attack. Let's take a look out there.
Right.
And he strides forward toward this area where there's a window. You can kind of look out. And there are a couple of devices he has over here that he uses sometimes, occasionally. He has a projector that he can sometimes use to address people. He might be using it shortly. We'll see.
So he is a supervillain. Okay.
And it's the main projector is actually inside the core of the building, but he has ports where he can access them if he does the right thing. But he goes over and he's looking out, and at this point, you sort of look out and you see hurtling toward these figures that are standing out there is Mother Superior.
Okay. I think he's kind of casually walking behind the patriarch, and just the second he sees that, he's poof, and he's gone. He's running back out towards the radio.
In the name of... All right. Okay.
I'll fix it.
He yells as he runs off.
All right. So now we're gonna go back down to the parked vehicles, as you'll have a moment to talk before possibly all hell breaks loose. And you're out, just sort of you see this sort of almost from the side, these figures approaching each other across the blasted waste. Krista and Nandi, do you bring anyone with you?
Giant.
All right. They can hear you coming. You see that Gunnar has stepped down, and behind him he has a couple of seconds that are like captains, and like a captain and a major, and he has them stand at a little bit of a distance where they're close enough they can come in if they need to, but he then steps forward. And you of course have a slightly better. He's taken off the glasses, and you can see his iron gray hair. He looks at you, Crystal. Are you all right?
So far.
I'm glad. Andy, he nods. I need you to be aware of what I'm trying to do here. When I've discovered some things about your so-called patriarch that I think you need to be aware of. At the same time, we don't have a lot of time, because the Iron Abbot is getting ready to try to pull a coup over this whole area. As I think your patriarch is probably going to try to do the same. I do not want you getting caught in the middle.
But I'm already in the middle.
You're not part of them, he says, gesturing to the cube.
But I have no choice. Someone's gonna die.
What is this poison situation?
The Abbey did it.
And you're stopping us from going and pulverizing them. Why?
They have the antidote.
All we gotta do is a teeny tiny favor for the Iron Douche. Get the antidote, and you can pulverize them all you want. I will cheer you on and bring the alcohol and the girls.
Who's
I'll
poison?
even let you pet Giant. Do I have to tell you?
Well, the question is it an acceptable loss?
No.
Is it someone in the cult? Or is it just
No.
all right.
Yes. Both.
It's a friend of yours?
Yes.
Let me tell you about being careful about making friends out here.
This is more Extraneous family than it is friends.
They make me curious. They stare out windows all weird. I want to know why.
Well, that's part of the problem. It's what they're trying to do with the maelstrom.
What?
Look, we've been gathering intelligence for a while now. And we've uncovered something that's kind of horrifying. And at this point, you hear this vehicle as it is charging toward you. I think I better put this music back on for a moment. As the vehicle charges towards you, Mother Superior, bolting from the direction of the Basilicron, racing in all of its machine shop glory, straight for you.
The clinic is closed.
Krista
What the hell's
looks
that?
Krista just looks at it, looks at Danny. She's like, Was that Barbie's voice?
Elle is gonna be so unhappy. B, what the hell are you doing?
Krista grabs her dad's hand and starts pulling him towards the travesty. Like,
say-
we need to get out of the way.
Yeah, Barb, you can't hear them yet. You're just basically thundering toward them.
Probably just see Mandy standing there like,
Okay, you notice the men sitting on these vehicles now are like moving their guns around toward Mother Superior. Krista, you're trying to urge your father to come with you to the travesty.
She just wants him out of the way. Like,
Yeah. So I think we're going to. Are you just basically grabbing him and trying to pull him in? I think we're just going to have you do something under fire in this case. Go ahead and roll plus cool. Okay, partial success. So here's the thing. You can grab him and drag him in there with you. But if you do that, then his men are probably not having anything else to go by, are probably going to see that the Mother Superior as hostile, and may very well open fire on it.
so what if she just pulls him towards it, but like out of the way at least?
If you don't pull him in, you just kind of leave him out there. His men are probably going to like run up and try to grab him to get him back to his war vehicle, to his war chariot.
Got it.
better question, what's closest?
You're like equidistant. They made sure,
We met halfway.
so you can get to either one equally fast.
Krista looks at her dad and says, "Just give me a minute." Like, she tries to find the walkie-talkie. Barbie.
You probably
Barbie!
got them like attached to the vehicle. That's the thing. In order to.
She's running back in to like, she just don't leave.
Okay,
she just like runs.
Okay, what they'll do is they'll pull him aside. He's not going to go right back into the war chariot, but he'll be right nearby, and they're gearing up. Barb, you see these guns starting to point toward you. You can see them gearing up.
Can I see, is there like a tug of war going on between Gunnar and his daughter?
You see something's going on. It's like some kind of brief struggle is happening, and then they split apart.
Okay.
I am going to say, Hal, you've made it down to the ramp, and you see this. You see the Mother Superior is just currently thundering toward their position.
Yeah, is it possible for me to come ripping out of the Bacilla?
The Basilicron?
Cron?
Why did I pick such an insane name? Sorry.
The Basilicron with a borrowed bike to try to get there faster.
Yeah, you can like run to a. Yeah, there are plenty just sort of sitting right here, right now. If you want to like jump on a bike and.
Yeah. And they're just gonna tear ass and try to go make it to the Mother Superior.
Okay, I need you to do something under fire, please.
Let's do it. Where am I? Under fire with a +1 from the thing.
Nice.
All right, you're gonna get there.
There we go.
You're gonna get there in time to do something. But first,
Okay.
I want to know what Barb's reaction is to all this.
I think there's kind of like a look left to go. They're going that way. Look right. Like, does she look okay? And I want to try to just interpose the vehicle between them and the traveling travesty, if possible.
You're gonna try to pull up in between. Nandi, what are you doing right now?
I'm thinking, how far is Mother Superior away from me now?
At this point, I mean, they're basically, I'm gonna say that it's like 50 yards at this point, and approaching quickly. Looks like they're heading kind of right for your position. They're trying to kind of hit that mid spot between the vehicles.
So I basically, probably
Kind of having to
finished
swerve around to
screaming.
do it because they were blocking you.
Yeah, it's like I probably stopped screaming and waving at Mother Superior, and now I'm gonna try and get back to the travesty so B doesn't run my ass over.
Okay, so you're doing that. At this point, so Barb, you're gonna get like within like 20 some odd yards, and I think this is roughly when a bike comes speeding in.
Right.
Hal, what are you doing?
The bike keeps shooting off and crashes by itself as I'm scrambling up the front of the front of the
Oh, you want to jump to a moving vehicle?
Yes.
There's a move for that, strangely enough. Of course there is. Let's see. Road war moves. Here we go. Board a moving vehicle. All right. So let me just check the speed of the. You're on a bike. You can probably match its speed. But just looking in here, that. Oh yeah, you should be fine. It is relentless. So you totally. So yeah, you put everything into massive. So yeah, basically, this thing is you can pretty much get over there. So are you gonna? I'm gonna say you're moving like. You're moving probably one faster than than that vehicle.
Okay.
So, to board a moving vehicle, roll plus cool. It says minus its speed, which one for minus the difference between their speeds. Well, actually, no. You can match the speed before you do it, so we're not going to worry about that.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'd have to look things up. So you're going to be rolling plus cool, and we're going to see what happens.
Okay, so now that I've spent that plus forward from bone fill originally, that's used up, right?
Yeah, the plus one forward is used.
Okay.
So you still have that ability to suddenly have a thing in your bag, a thing with you.
I might keep that
or
as a fail safe.
Okay.
In case this doesn't work. 9.
Okay. On 7 to 9, you're and this is what it says: you're 7 to 9, you're on, but Jesus. So barely the bike flips out of the way, and you're like, ah! You're clinging onto this. It's gonna take you a second to get up there.
heels scraping against the ground for a second.
But you're okay. You're not hanging on for dear life, but it's like that was a heart rate increaser.
Yeah, and then I think I might want to cash in my bone fuel right now to try to resolve this situation if I can get away with it.
What do you want to have on you?
I want to have specifically on the front of the Mother Superior a fail-safe emergency stop device.
Awesome! I can't wait to see what happens. Please, what does this look like?
So it's this like kind of thin metal box that I just slap off, and it kind of covers this couple of levers and switches that I hit, and once I slam this thing and punch in a code, like the back of the Mother Superior has these like rakes that come down to slow it down. The engine stops, and then out of the top of the Mother Superior, with like an explosion of grime and dust, this aged, slightly frayed white flag goes.
Okay, so I'm going to assume this is like slamming the brakes when you're going at top speed.
Yeah, it's to turn off this thing even if it's full throttle. Excellent.
So, a couple of people need to make a couple of rolls for me now, to not get terribly hurt. So, I think what we're going to do, I think we're just going to call this again, acting under fire, doing something under fire. So we're going to be rolling plus cool for both you and Barbello.
Am I rolling it? You said.
Both of you are.
Okay.
Because you're on the you're actually in almost a worse position because you're like you're not inside the vehicle.
Lord, okay. Let's see.
Okay. All right.
Maybe.
So, the we're both gonna get dinged up a bit here, I think.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think that for Barbello, since you're inside the vehicle, you're going to take you're going to take 1 harm minus armor, any armor you have on. Hal, you have a choice.
Okay.
To either hold on and take a harm to your arm, which is not going to, which is going to going forward for a bit need to get healed up before you can use your arm properly.
Yeah.
Or you can save your arm and go tumbling off the vehicle, taking 2 harm.
I will go tumbling off the vehicle, taking.
Awesome. Okay. 2 harm. This is like a fall down the stairs, so it's armor piercing. So it doesn't matter if you have armor.
I don't have armor, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. So there you go. Yay! We used the harm tracks.
Yeah, I was
this
gonna
thing
ask
comes to a halt.
How do I mark down that I've suffered 2 harm?
Yes. So you see that little clock face that's sort of over on the right.
Yes.
Barbello's now going to be at 3 o'clock, and you're going to be at 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So there's 2 steps. I gotcha.
Yeah. And it actually is segmented off so that after you hit 9 o'clock, then it's like 1 hour at a time. So you actually get 6 segments.
Okay.
Yes, pain, joyful pain comes to you as this thing comes to a halt, and the Dodds are just sort of like, well, so they see the flag
up from the dust, just all messed up. He throws up his hands. Everything's okay. We're all friends.
Krista turns around, starts walking back, like,
you could have fooled me.
He just kind of like sits back.
Krista starts looking for Nandy to make sure Nandy's okay too.
Where is Mandy? You were running back to the vehicle, so you're probably right there.
Yeah, I'm probably halfway there and just come to a screeching halt when I see Hal fall from the vehicle. And be like, "Are you all right? What in the freak is going on?"
Just one big thumbs up into the air.
She probably got dust all over herself. She's like, "B, get your ass out of here. We have to talk."
And
Krista goes back to talk to her dad.
well, you see, your dad is coming out. He's sort of fuming. Who the hell are these maniacs? We've got to get you away from here. These people are insane.
But that's what makes them fun.
You can deal with the maelstrom without leaning into the madness. Haven't I told you this?
I don't lean
Discipline.
into the madness.
And he just sort of is looking. It's kind of glances over.
Krista looks at Hal and points at him. He's the one that made my fancy bike, the one I showed you last time.
I'm just
Crosses
wandering around there looking for my goggles.
He
You know,
crosses
out of
his
the dirt.
arms and he's like, he gives you this look. He gives you this look, Hal. Kind of like it's the best way I can describe it. It's like as though what the specimen on the slide it feels like when you put it under the microscope. And this big eye comes up over the to be like just studying you very carefully.
I kind of catch his gaze as I'm shaking the goggles, sand out of the goggles, and then with one kind of like flourish of my poncho, I kind of do a little bow, and then
You're
turn
my
to start-
daughter's mechanic, huh?
She leans over. And I think he has the hots for Nandy.
Oh.
I'm everyone's
sort of
mechanic
looks over.
here. As I approach.
You part of this cult?
Oh. Well, no.
He just sort of points at. This your vehicle?
Mother Superior? Yes, my round two. It's my beast of burden. Yeah.
Does it normally go tearing off all over the place without your permission?
Oh, I had my permission. I thought you guys were pew 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 pew, but I was wrong. So.
He
Just trying to protect your daughter.
looks over at. Looks over at Crystal. Looks over. Actually, what is Barbello doing?
She has crawled back up to the top of the most superior and just has her syringe in her hand, is looking down. Hal, is everybody okay? I drove Mama Superior. I drove Mama Subs. It was great. It worked out great.
You did great. Yep.
Is everybody okay? Where's Gemma?
Yeah. Gemma, I think, is still inside the travesty. I don't think anyone wants to come out of there right now.
I just kick my legs off the side and just kind of sit there at the top of the Mama Superior and just wait to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah. So at this point, Gunner is just like, give me strength. Any more of those in there? Is this going to happen again?
Nope. Only had time for one plan.
All right.
Oh.
Look. I think it's only going to be a matter of time before your patriarch starts getting antsy. So I'm going to have to talk about this. We're going to have to talk quick. He's got some kind of plan. It's the best way I was able to determine before my source of information was taken out. Apparently, he is trying to Apparently both he and that abbot are going to try to, each in their own ways, do something to direct the flow of the maelstrom. Now, my understanding is, from people that I had observing the cult, observing this cult, was that he was going to essentially do something to forcibly recruit pretty much everyone in the reaction to this cult of the flow. Mind control. Now,
Who told you this?
he just sort of says, well, that's classified.
Sounds like bullshit too. Sounds like bullshit too.
What did the guy look like?
You see, at this point, he's going to shake his head. He
Was he
says,
hot?
"It's better that you not know." Thing is, once he gets it, there's some kind of a device he's looking for, and some kind of device that the abbot is looking for.
Hal, is that the...
I kind of hold up and like, stop! Don't say anything else.
Oh...
Once they get from what we can basically understand about it, once either of them gets hold of it, then that's going to be the final piece in their puzzle. The abbot's going to be able to use it to extend his influence over everything from the abbey northward.
Oh, and Andy probably has stopped yelling at B by now because she's been moving to the other side of the vehicle trying to get it.
Not just mind control. He's going to use. He's got something that he's going to use to try to reshape things physically.
She just turns around and says, "And how would he do that?"
Lets him tap into the maelstrom.
Might that have something to do with our little errand? If he went through the lengths to poison multiple people that are well connected.
No, I wouldn't put it past him.
Wouldn't put anything past that.
What is your little errand?
Classified.
I have to push a button.
He's going to turn and he's going to step right up to Hal. You want to say that again, son?
I am scooting over with my syringe.
Krista kind of puts hers up between them, and then like Giant's like peeking out from the backpack, like rah, 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 rah. And then Krista's like, "We have to turn something off. I don't know what it is, but we have to turn something off."
I'm guessing it's probably something about a story or two tall. Something that sends off a signal.
I'm gonna step forward and really quietly kind of be like, I just need you to give us... Oh wait, how many days was it? How many days do we have left?
So we're down to 3 days at this point.
3 days. I need you to give us 3 days, which is a big ask, and I know you have a lot of sway. Sway. But we're gonna kill the abbot. And if what you're saying is true, we're gonna kill the patriarch too. But if you go shooty bang bang right now, you only have one plan, and it's not as good as having 2 plans.
All right. Guess what's next? I'm going to ask you once again to manipulate someone. I'm going to ask you to roll plus hot. Try to get them to do what you do. Unless you have another move personally that you would like to use here, that would work better.
No, unfortunately. This is not my purview. I don't know why I'm doing this.
I'm going to say
Hiya.
that Krista can be helping, but that's...
Okay. 7.
It's you may not want to roll now, so, because you got a partial success.
You don't get you only get experience if you totally fail, right?
Well, no, you get experience if you roll the stat that is highlighted.
Oh, okay. I'm mixing stuff up.
So it's every time you... No, yeah. Dungeon World is if you
That's
every
what it
time you
is.
fail. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
This is anytime you roll the thing, which I think was originally what they were doing when they were working on Dungeon World. I think the one of the beta versions of that had that in it. But then they were like, no, we need to figure something else out, and they eventually got to like failure
Well,
equals
advance it
XP,
down.
which was cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like learning points in that respect from, what was it, Zorcerevzo? Yes, but I digress. Anyway, 7 to 9, they go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first. Okay. And he says, what can you give me to assure that this is actually something you're going to be able to do? I need some kind of assurance here.
I think if this is okay, I think he's going to shift up his poncho, and there's going to be some kind of impromptu, very large explosive device on his chest. And he's like, I'm dead in 3 days if we don't get this done. So, my assurance is that I'll do it, or I will die trying.
It's you. You're the one who's been poisoned.
Me too.
There were a few.
I see.
Krista looks over because she did not know.
Yeah.
I think she's bluffing, so it doesn't matter.
He nods slowly. Well, I know that it's in your self-interest, then.
And I'm good at what I do.
Can I... And he sort of... And this he actually addresses to Nandi. Can I send some men along with you to help you out here?
That depends on the men, because I will not have men in my establishment that I do not trust and that will not listen to my orders. That will just not do. Not with all the girls that I have traveling with me. Not going to happen. So if you have somebody that I can trust to listen, or, maybe somebody who's not interested in women or boys that way.
I see. Yeah.
Krista looks over, or they can listen to me.
And that's better how?
I have a shiny knife.
That's exactly my point. And I'm guessing this is about a bonding moment between, like...
he just sort of actually, he looks, he says, you still have it? You've been keeping it clean now?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, Alright, we'll work all that out. I'm going to trust you on this. Just know that there's a lot more than just us at stake here. You know that. Okay.
Don't worry, Daddy. I won't let them do anything to Giant.
That's good. And he just sort of looks over at, and immediately sort of, I'm assuming that is Giant still in your bag with you right now? He immediately turns, and for the first time anyone you see him kind of smile a little bit as he's looking down at Giant, and Giant's like, ah, and you see Giant kind of sits like this for the first time and kind of goes, and he's like, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, then. I can send a jeep with just a few of our people, just in case. They will let me know, one way or the other, when things are done. But they will not do so, he says, turning to Krista, until you say it's time. This is a big responsibility. I think you can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll go talk to them. And what this will be, essentially, is Nandi and Krista, essentially, you will get to pick out basically one of their groups. There's going to be they're going to send a lieutenant and a they're not going to send a huge number of people. It's probably they're going to send 4 or 5 people, right? So it'll probably actually just be a sergeant and a few other officers. So they're probably not going to send I'm sorry, my brain is not working. They're not going to send any officers. They're going to send a sergeant and a few other enlisted. It's very murky after the apocalypse what any sort of actual military structure is. They're just pretending, really, more than anything else. And you can pretty much determine sort of who this is. So I'm going to kind of let you decide who this sergeant is and what their name is, what their gender is, that kind of thing, if you like. And they will be with you, and they will have access to about 3 people that will be with them in a jeep. That will be basically taking orders from Krista. But with the understanding that, that they do still know why they're there. And so that will happen. So is there... I think that... It is going to be more or less at this point that you're going to see... you're going to see a group of cultists are starting to come out of the basilatron. See them riding down basically on this sort of, it's a small truck bed thing, and so you see robed people coming out. And they're starting to approach, so someone's probably going to need to talk to them about what's happening because they don't know yet. And just so we'll know who's going to... Is anyone going to go and talk to the cultists?
I probably shouldn't. I'm the worst talker here, so...
That would normally, I think, fall to Nandi, since she's kind of like the contact. And I'm guessing she's just going to say, everybody just shh. This is all just a family matter and has absolutely nothing to do with nothing. And she just walks over to the cultists, see if she can see anybody she knows that she knows how to deal with, or how to, phrase things so they take it.
So, yeah, they're gonna pull up, and It's just basically one of their one of the acolytes has come forth. They would not be sending any of the either the matriarch or the patriarch, anyone like that out. So just I mean they're just they're just like wanting to know what's happened, what's going on, is everything all right?
And Nanny will just try and convince them that this was a family matter, or was a misunderstanding. We're gonna acquire some help for that. We're gonna acquire a couple of companions for the rest of the time to make sure that their family members stay safe. But it has nothing. It's not a threat, and has nothing to do with the bigger colony.
So they chat for a moment. They're like, all right. They go back to their truck, and they radio the they basically relay that. Since I don't think these are just grunts, so they're not really gonna worry. They're like, okay. They're gonna radio back to someone. But after a moment, they're going to be they're going to look to put their head up. Miss Nandy, His Eminence would like to speak with you.
Very well, very well. He just turns around and says, I got to go ahead and speak with the Patriarch. Please get everything settled over here. Everybody cleaned up. Make sure everything's normal. And bon voyage to you. She says to Nandy's dad. And then she just follows the acolytes up.
Krista looks at Nandy and's like, do you want me to come with, or?
No, girl. I'm fine. You go ahead and please make sure that B is taken care of and all the doggies are safe.
Okay.
And please make sure Gemma's not throwing shit because she's upset.
So the convoy is going to get back underway. Again, because it does not move incredibly fast, there is still, one can easily get from one building to the other, one vehicle to the other. I'm just going to ask now briefly before we do this little bit with Nandy and the Patriarch. Is there anything anyone else wants to get in or do? Because we're getting very close to session's end, so I just wanted to find out real quick. Okay. So, you are ferried back to the Basilatron. You come in, they pull up, and they bring you up to the reception area, and His Eminence is standing there, Patriarch Atlas, and he steps forward to you. He says, Nandy, thank you for coming. Were you, and it looks like they didn't harm you at all.
No, it was all a big misunderstanding. Sometimes it's, people will get a little too hot, and they get scared, and then they do things. But we cleared it all up. Everybody is safe.
I see. There's something that I need to talk to you about.
Very well.
It's rather important. It has to do with what's going on right now. If you would come with me.
Where are we going?
Not far.
Doesn't answer my question.
He says, he says, Jim has to think of the name of the thing.
Yeah.
We won't be going past the narthex. I just want to
Very well, because
show
you
you
know I
something
have.
that I think just so you there are ears about. I suspect.
Just remember that we just had this misunderstanding, and my people need me. So I would appreciate if we could make this quick.
I understand.
Very well. Lead the way.
And he takes you in, and normally you're not allowed to go here. He takes you a little ways inward. You can barely just sort of up in the distance you can see sort of the things going up to a dais and this area where there's this kind of, you can almost just see into the church. He takes you aside into a room where he has a number of maps. He takes one out and he throws it down. He says, I don't know how familiar you are with the Circle of Acumen, their process over in Sapien Town.
Just assume I don't know.
It is part of their ritual chant that they do. They have a ritual dance, a ritual chant that they use in their interpretation of the maelstrom. I have found out, I believe, what it is that is causing this. I have found the source of the beat, if you will, for them. It's not the maelstrom. Something.
So,
He says, there's something in this camp. And I think it's a device left over from their previous facility that is actually funneling the energies of the maelstrom through it.
To what ends?
I think it is making them dance to an extent. Now, here is the thing. Or at the very least, not making them. Making them would be the wrong term. It is bringing them the form of enlightenment that they have. Now, this strikes me as a very easy way of communicating a single idea to rather a lot of people at once. We could bring peace to the entirety of the reaction and possibly to other places as well. If we get this item, which I believe is the item that the Iron Abbot wants to take and misuse to his own ends for domination. But I think we could stop all of that.
But why does he want us to turn it off then? If he wants to use it.
And perhaps he just merely needs it to not function in order for his process. Perhaps he's creating some sort of counterwave with whatever he's discovered. But the thing what I'm saying is this is perhaps going to represent a way of fighting him. This is perhaps going to represent a way that we can make this world safe for Polaris and others like her.
What does Michaela say to that?
Michaela, I think, more than anything, just wants to burn a lot of things to the ground. And I can sympathize with that, given all that has transpired. I think there is another way to bring the peace of the flow to everyone. I am telling you this because I know that she trusts you. I am also telling you this because I can foresee through it we might be able to bring an end not only to the conflict, but also even just simply to this poisonous effect that comes through the maelstrom. We might be able to stop it all if we but get hold of how to use it. And I am telling you this because when we arrive, if we can manage this, I am going to need to know who I can trust. Because there may have to be a reckoning coming. You understand?
I get that. My more important question right now, both for Michaela and for Hal, what will happen to the antidote?
If we can cure our people, we will cure our people. Yes? That is what I'm thinking.
At the expense of Michaela and Hal? At the expense of the mother of your child, your wife? Is that what you're telling me?
You're talking about the antidote to... No, what I'm saying is, if we can cure them, then there will be no need for the antidote.
But how would this device cure them? We don't even know it can cure them. We don't even really know what this poison is. And if we're taking this from the Abbey straight away, we might lose these people. And I'm not willing to risk that.
I can appreciate that, and I understand. But there is a way through it. I have seen it in the flow.
Well, you know me. I need a little bit more than just the flow. You know, I'm a woman of facts. I'm a woman of reality. I'll need a little bit more than I've seen it in the flow. I'm willing to keep my mind open, but I'm not willing to make a decision right now, this minute, with the information that we have. I'm very glad you trust me. I'm very glad that, you're giving me the chance to maybe do some research into this and see what we can do. But this is not a snap decision to make. This is too important.
Very good. Know, though, that I will ask then simply, when we acquire it, allow me the chance to make a demonstration so that you can perhaps be convinced. Would you be willing to do that?
I'm not willing to make a decision on this anyway at this point in time. We're in the middle of, this. I haven't talked to Michaela. I haven't talked to Polaris. This is a little hard to put in stone right now.
I see.
I am willing to keep my mind open, but I'm not willing to make any assurances right now.
I understand, then. Well, we have a day. I will see you again soon.
Absolutely. We're not going anywhere. Oh, we do have acquired a couple of extra people, though. They will not bother you or yours.
These are from the arsenal?
They are here for as personal protection for a family member. I have given him that right. I will not interfere with them. They will not interfere with us.
Well, we'd best do what we can to keep them away from Michaela, then. She's none too fond of them.
Oh,
I'm sure
they're.
you're well aware.
They will not come until your vehicle.
Very good. Well then, we will see what happens in a day's time.
Very well.
The blessing of the flow be with you.
And you have a good day too.
And as you head out
All
for
dusty.
a moment, the camera will stay briefly with His Eminence. He will turn and he will sigh, and he will shake his head. And he reaches down. We see something we can't see fully what it is on a scrap of paper. But it does, part of it we can see make out does say Nandi. And he draws a big X over it. And that's where we're going to conclude for the evening.
What the fuck?
Oh boy.
I'm officially on the shit list.
Yeah. Damn.
Well, folks, thank you all very much for playing. It is much appreciated.
Yeah.
One episode left, and we'll see where this whole thing lands.
I'm stoked.
So, thank you all very much. We're going to go around once again. Let's see. Wait, there's an end of session move. There's an end of session move. Let's go ahead and do that. Because I think we're going to have a better way. Instead of doing it at the beginning next time, we're going to go ahead, like we did this time, we're going to go ahead and do our end of session move, I think, actually, at the end of the session, while we still remember things that happened. It's a little more fresh. So I'm just going to go around real quick to ask character who knows you better or worse. And I'm going to go, again, start with Krista. Do you think there's one of the other PCs knows your character any better? And if not, we will pick someone who knows you worse.
Nandi for better.
Okay. Then you can go ahead and tell them to add +1 to you. So Nandi, you increase your +1. With Krista, where does that put you? 4? All right. You're going to set back to just +1.
Okay.
And you get XP. You get to mark XP.
Okay.
And now over to Hallelujah. So Hal, choose a character who knows you better than they used to.
You know, not to flip flop, but I think
Unless there isn't one.
working in tandem and having Barbello drive the Mother Superior would make me suggest that it's that.
That Barbello knows you better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's fair. You know, she did figure out how to turn it on. So yeah.
Yeah.
So Barbello, you get to go ahead and add a +1 to your history with Hal, which I guess that just puts you back up to +1, right?
Never changing relationship. I have.
Never changing. Oh
Dang
God.
it.
All right, now over to Barbello. What character do you think knows you better than they used to,
Yeah,
if there
I
is
feel-
one?
I feel like Hal knows me better for sure. Like he let me run the Mother Superior.
Awesome. Okay, Hal, you can go ahead and put a +1 toward Barbello on your history.
3.
You're at 3. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
getting close. And finally, Nandi, who do you think knows your character better, if there is someone who knows your character better? If not, then someone knows you worse.
I'm kind of torn between B and Krista, because Krista definitely knows me better now that she kind of sees how I interact with her daddy. Because she probably didn't know quite as much about, how we interact. But also, B saw me react to the crazy shit she pulled. So, now But I'm thinking Krista's was probably more character relevant because that's her daddy, and she probably didn't quite understand what our relationship was or if we even knew each other.
Okay. So Krista, you get to add a +1 to your history with Nandi. And where does that put you? What's your 2? Okay, awesome. Okay. And that is our end of session move. Well, there we go. We're going to go ahead and do our outros.
Did everybody set their experience for rolling highlighted stuff? I didn't roll today, so.
Oh, you didn't actually roll anything?
I didn't have to roll nothing today.
Oh my god.
It was all RP and looking pretty.
That's fair. That's true. Awesome. All right. Yeah. Remember, every time you roll highlight, you add XP, and there's somewhere, I think probably on the sheet it'll show you where you when you have enough, but if it does not, we'll figure it out. All right. Yeah, under your improvements. Yeah, once you fill in like all your 5 XP, that's when you get an improvement, I believe. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and go around, do our outros. Feel free to say where folks can find you and any thoughts you had about this session, favorite moments, or anything like that. And we shall start with Vivacia.
Hi, I'm Vivacia. I stream here on Twitch, a variety of things, and you can find me on the Twitter as Miss Vivacia. Right now, I'm in this, which I always enjoy playing with Jim. I also finishing up Pathfinder 1 if we could ever get the scheduling right. And normally every second Tuesday I'm in a Call of Cthulhu game in the Wild West, which I double booked myself. That is with Uncanny Adventures, where I'm playing a doctor. We're just getting to the creepy part. It's going to be interesting. But today, well, this was a hilarious family drama. It's like, I need family in this game because holy mama, that was completely teenager, and it's like laughing so hard that the tears are coming. So yeah, I enjoyed myself.
Awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and head over to Curt.
I am Curt Jackson, and I am on Twitter as Captain Curt Jack, and this is kind of the main thing I'm doing online right now. I'm looking forward to freeing up more time now because it's just getting stronger all the time.
Yes.
It's fantastic. It's really cool. And definitely my favorite is watching our Battle Babe, our entitled, spoiled Battle Babe, who I've just never seen that angle of that kind of character before. Like, just Furiosa in Mad Max all of a sudden is 10 years old. She's doing a fantastic job. I love that character.
Awesome. Awesome. And let's head over to Seth.
Hi, I am Seth David Andrew Hubbard. I'm on Twitter over there, and I'm also on Twitch under the same username. And I'm streaming Star Wars Fallen Order right now on weekdays when I have a chance. So
cool.
You should check that out. And my favorite part was just the tiniest little thing, because Curt will often be kind of playing stuff out quietly while it's getting described, and like I was looking at something else, and as soon as he described Mother Superior driving, just looking over and having him with like all the stuff down shaking as he's driving it, made me laugh so hard. That was my favorite part.
That was so good. Excellent. And finally over to Michi.
Hello, I am Michi, also known as Witty Michi. You can find me on Twitter and also here on Twitch under the same name. So, I do stream as often as I can, mostly on the weekends. A variety of games. I'm trying to get like a Divinity game going with Vivi soon, where we'll just, try to explore. My favorite moment was the moment Hal saw what Babs was up to. I just was like, I'll fix it! Just bolted.
I think I will say that's probably mine too, is actually just the whole getting on the bike and leaping up and pulling the failsafe.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I was like, I had fun, like, you know, like being like little spoiled brat that like Krista is, but like my favorite moment was definitely like seeing him. You know, there's a reason why he's called Hallelujah, I guess.
Indeed, indeed. That's awesome. Well then, so as for me, I'm Jim. You can find me here at OtherDoc, both here on Twitch and on Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and some of my fiction and games I've been working on, along with links to game signups and applications to join our Discord. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we shall have our we shall be continuing our campaign of Masks in the city of Doctropolis, run by Mole. It's been a lot of fun so far. A lot of teenage angst. Basically, we're all Krista in that one. It is delightful. On Saturdays on this channel, Saturday evenings, we have our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. On Sundays, in the afternoons, we have one-shots. The one-shot this Sunday will be Medical Bay 3. That is a science fiction medical drama about humans treating alien beings. So I'm looking forward to that very much. I'm getting ready to cast that, actually, as soon as we get off this call. Then, of course, Sunday nights, we have our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw, which is Ghosts of Saltmarsh in space. So we're getting into some really interesting stuff there. Finally, we're getting to a point down in this area where an alchemist used to live, and we're finding so many things, so many. Then, of course, back around to Tuesday night, 1 week from tonight, we will have our finale of Apocalypse World. On an Altar of Ice, as it's called. Finally figured out a title for it. So come to see the conclusion of that. I expect there to be a lot of drama. We'll have to see what happens. Right now, I don't have any other signups running, but soon, hopefully within the next day or so, I'm going to have signups start to open up for next month's short campaign, which will be a Las Vegas. That's actually a round-robin GMing thing. The way it's written as a 4-part thing about characters recovering their amnesia. So, very interested to see. It's a very different type of game. Uses tarot cards. So I might be opening signups for that very soon, and then also for the first one-shot of next month, which will probably be Flat Pack, which is also post-apocalyptic, but optimistic. It's about fixing the future. And so look for that soon. When the time comes, you want to sign up for something, go down and click on RPG sign up, or go to jimyesthatjim.com, click on game sign up. As always, beginners are welcome. Okay, well, when we hit the end card, what shall we do? I'm going to send a raid. I'm going to try and send a raid over to, let's see, LFM Network, which is a new channel, I believe, is started up, or they're continuing to play their Dark Sun campaign. It's run by Donathan Fry, who is an excellent GM. So I'm going to go over there and say hi to them. Feel free, if you wish, to hang on and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you next week. Farewell.